Okay, so we're on normal Amius. We have our heal reduction. We have our cleanser and buffer. We have another cleanser, reviver, and block debuffs, which is important for the first phase. We have Fatalis on for the crack. And we also kind of have Odin on for the crack. I'd say most of our damage is going to come from Matrala, realistically, but we may get some good damage from Odin from his A3, and maybe from Fatalis, some of Fatalis' attacks. But we'll find out now. So this is normal. Everybody has a bit of a blessing, and that's important for phase 2, his third move in his second form, basically. That's the only reason that we need the stuff for the blessing, because it reduces the damage down from him, especially in that move. Now, we always lead off with the block debuffs here. We need a 2-turn. I was looking at Warlord on hard earlier. It's not good enough, and that's because he only does a 1-turn block debuffs. So Warlord is great, but the block debuffs isn't enough. Now we have our Brimstone and Poisons on, so that's great. I'm not going to put block heal reduction, Jenny Mac, on Amius yet, because I don't want to let him. I shouldn't have done that either, guys. I don't want to let him flip it over into a buff, and that's exactly what I did with those buffs. That's why that was a problem for me. So let's get a couple of hits in there. So actually, Fatalis done all right there. So I was happy with that. Another good thing about Odin here is I could use these now if I wanted, but let's use that actually. A couple of poisons maybe would have been more beneficial. He has used his debuff flipper. So I can go ahead now and place heal reduction. And that's when I want it now. He's going to use his heal now, and that's not going to be no good. Another reason Odin is good here is because if he has enough accuracy, he can strip these from Amius as well. He probably does. He does. Okay, cool. Let's go with that. Okay, so we're doing a bit of work. We're doing well here. This is actually maybe a better team than I expected. Again now, I'm not going to go with the cleanse and strengthen and shield, because the minute he flips over, now he has 2 turns left before he flips over into his other form, but the minute he does, he's going to flip those into negatives, and I also want my cleanse ready for that point. So that's the same reason I'm also not going to use Pythion's A2 there as well. Now, as well, because of Fatalis' passive, he might be doing a little bit of work for us here too. Let's get this. Lovely. We have decreased attack on for when he flips over. When he flips over into Form 2, that's generally his more dangerous portion. So Form 1 is frustrating because he empowers himself by flipping over buffs into debuffs with his A3, and he heals. So Form 1 is restorative and buffing for him. Form 2 is more about doing damage to you and debuffing you. Okay? So he'll attack us, he'll put us to sleep. He didn't go again yet, and that's okay. I'm not going to do my A2, I'm just going to do my A1. Now, I have to check this actually now again. Yeah. So he doesn't flip them over. He flips them over with the A3. So I can use this if I want. He's not going to put us to sleep again. But he will also decrease them. So what do I want to do? I'll go with this. And the reason for that is he reduced the cooldown of all of those. So I'm going to put heal reduction on now again. I'm not going to use the cleanse. I don't need it. I'm interested to see what this does. His secret skill, 76,000. Not super, but not bad. I will take everything I can get. Again, we don't need... Actually, we will take the strengthen now, because strengthen straight up reduces damage by 25%. So we will put that on. And we'll go with A3 here from Fatalis. A1 from Venomage. Again, we don't need block debuffs. Although, because of Pythion's passive, actually we do want block debuffs up. For two reasons, right? Because of his passive, we're going to take 5% less damage from skills for each buff on the guys. But also, we'll have block debuffs for 2 turns. After he takes his turn now, he's going to do his cannon. So he's 2 turns there, but he's going to do his double nuke, single target cannon. And what he's going to do then is he's going to flip straight into his other form, where he's going to try and put us to sleep with his A3 on form 1. Now, see the way he attacked there? That was Pythion's mastery kicking in, which reduced the cooldown of one of his skills. Get some poisons on there. Now, we don't want decreased attack and weaken or decreased defense on there, because he's going to flip over and change that into a positive if we do that. Okay? Now, the other thing you can do, if you have a good stripper, what you can do is bait him into doing that. So that you know he's going to lead with that. If you have a load of debuffs on him, in the previous form, when he flips over, he'll lead with flipping those over. Okay? If you have block debuffs on, he won't sleep you, so you'll be able to take a turn. And if you have a good stripper, like Odin was able to strip earlier, you'll be able to take all of the debuffs that are now buffs off of him and then go to work again and safely apply your heal reduction. But you have to make sure all your ducks are in a row to do that. Now, he's still able to flip the buffs into debuffs, so let's just do poisons. They're not flippable. There's no converse for poisons. So let's just go with A1 again, and we'll A1 attack and A1 attack. A lot of what you do with Amius is just not giving him the stuff to kill you. So he's done all of his business there now. So let's get poisons and a heal reduction on there. Let's do our A3 nuke. We'll do this one again. 92,000 this time. So what do we know now? He has 2 turns left, so he's going to do an A1 hit on us now. He would heal off any damage on shields there, but there was none apparently. The other thing we know now is that he's going to change over into his other form. So do we want to do this? Yeah, we can do, because sometimes it'll bait him into flipping these over rather than doing something else. So at least we know what he's going to do now, in theory. Now, let's get some more damage on. We kind of want to stop damaging him now a little bit, because we're not going to kill him in this form. Are we? No, we're not going to kill him in this form. And he's getting very close to being dead in his other form. We're actually he's going to die, and he's going to be healed up as well. So this is a problem here. And if we had Lydia on the team, that wouldn't be a problem. So anybody who's watched a few of my Amius videos will know one of my rules is, if you have Lydia, use Lydia for Amius every time. It just means you can kill him whenever, and he's going to die. And Amius dying is a good thing, as we all know. Okay, so the screen is still red tinged and all that kind of jazz. It may look like he's in Form 2, but he's in Form 1. He's revived. He's in Form 1. The turn counter is here for Form 1. The little buff counter is here for Form 2. So this means that this skill here is his big heal. We don't want him getting that out. So if we can get round to a heal reduction in the next second or two, that would be wonderful. He can't change the heal reduction into a continuous heal because he's already used his A3. Do we have it? We do. Okay, so he's not going to get healed up here. That's very good. And we should have loads of turns to get that damage down now as well. So let's see, can we do that? We have 2 turns. It would have been, actually, this is what we wanted on before we were trying to do big damage. But that's okay. That's okay. Even if... Now, you and me both, guys, have to look back at that video. Because I'm nearly sure the turn counter said that we had 2 turns left there. So, we'll do... when I kill him this time, let's do a post-mortem. Before I do my end commentary, I'll look back on that. Let's get the strengthen up there because he's going to do his cannon now. Any second. We are going to put poisons and heal reduction on here now for when he changes into his other form, which he will do now in a second. Block damage has no bearing on his ability to do damage here, by the way, because he ignores it. Now, let's get more poisons on. And we have brimstone. So hopefully now, I'm just going to go A1 here and hope that he doesn't do anything until he flips into the other form. So, remember I was saying earlier about baiting him into switching. So let's do that. So when he changes into his other form, he should be baited into using his A3, which is the debuff flipper, rather than his A2, which is the heal, okay? And I'm safe doing that because I'm able to put block debuffs on now. Okay, so block debuffs is on, so when he changes over, he's going to flip all of these into positives. He should. And the reason he attacked out of turn there was somebody got a skill cooldown mastery. Okay, let's go with this. I don't want any more poisons on him. Now, what form was he in? He was still in the other form, so we didn't kill him there. So let's go again. We just reload and go again. And this is why I always say about Lydia being so important. Just having her in the team just cuts out so much nonsense. Now, Lydia has her downsides as well, because you have to be very careful with her buffs and debuffs. She can really muck you up if you're not paying attention to what you're doing with your buffs and debuffs, for sure. We're lucky enough to be able to get our heal reduction on here. Now, we have 2 turns left up here. So let's keep an eye on that, because something went weird the last time. Let's get our decreased defense on here as well. Let's get poisons and brimstone on. We don't have brimstone ready yet. Decrease attack on. That's cool. So he is ready to flip over now. And that's alright. I probably shouldn't have used that there. Okay. He got a lot of turn meter fill. He got a lot of turn meter fill. I don't want to do damage to him here, guys, so I'm not going to use the A3. I'm going to use the A1. I want to cleanse and get the strengthen on with Mitrala. That's why I'm always holding on to that, guys. This, I think, is the weakest attack from Fatalis, so that's what I'm going to go with. A1 is okay. A1 is okay. A1 is okay. Okay, so he's going to get an extra turn and flip out, change into... Right, we'll get the heal reduction and poisons on now. Will he change form? He will. He went for the heal. He didn't get it because we only had a couple of debuffs on there. So he tried to heal instead of prioritizing changing the debuffs over. So that's great. We'll get a revive and a strengthen on. We'll get some hexes and increase defense and increase attack. We didn't land the brimstone. I thought we'd have it back there. Now, decreased defense is on. So let's go with the attack. And let's go with the attack here as well. And that should be it. 182,000. It makes a big difference when there's decreased defense on there. So that was another team there working through the problems that Amius presents. I hope I explained those well to you. I hope I explained why I held in reserve some moves at different times. I'm going to be back in 2 seconds when I have looked at the review of that, and we'll see exactly what happened in that second turn, okay? Okay, so I went back and reviewed the tape. We weren't insane. I wasn't insane, at least. I can't speak for all of you guys. But yeah, look at this. I have the volume turned off on it, right? So look at his turn meter. Look at his turn count. And Fatalis is going to take his go, and let's see what happens here. So watch. Fatalis hits him. The turn meter goes up. He's still at... the counter's still at 2. And the bar is not full yet. Now, and see that. The bar goes to full. And all of a sudden... he has 1 turn count left, and he changes immediately. So, I don't know what happened there, but something there, that's definitely a bug. So, I'll have to report that into Plarium, because that should not have happened there at all. Okay, so look at back over to the game itself. We have the fight done already. 15 minutes, 149 turns. Not bad at all, really. As you can see, I have done it a lot faster, and I can smash it, especially on normal. Let's look at the team itself. Recently used. We have Python, Survivey Boy. He's built with... he's built with all the survivability, basically. He has 182 speed, and he's in bolster and stone skin. For 1 turn stone skin, so the stone skin isn't really doing lots for him in the Amius fight, but I use it for arena or whatever. He is getting these extra buffs, but overall his stats are quite good. Decent speed. 100,000 HP, nearly 4k defense, and then the other stats are just whatever landed on him. He wasn't built for that. These are the masteries. To quote the man, the myth, the legend, don't ever blindly copy masteries, but feel free to go ahead and blindly copy these masteries, to mangle a quote from Mr. Burrito Slayer. So these are the masteries I use. Lower steel to get the most out of all the bonuses from the sets. All the healing stuff. This here, Cycle of Magic, decrease the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn at the start of every turn, is what nearly got us into trouble a few times. So if you're building somebody specifically for Amius, Do not have that on. Okay, that can mess you up. The rest then are all about damage reduction, especially damage decrease from AoE attacks. And where are we? Oh yeah, this, yeah. Damage reduction over time from a single enemy up to 6%. That's very important for longer fights. And then just turn meter boosting and protecting the enemies or your allies. Now, we have Matrala. She's built up to War Master and then the accuracy and shield masteries. She also has Cycle of Magic on as well. So that's a no-no. She does have lower steel as well. These are all about getting more shields and getting more accuracy and getting turn meter boost with that. If I go further down, I'll probably go lasting gifts and yeah, extend the duration of the debuffs for the poisons on the hex. Now, with Odin, not fully masteried out, but he's going down the damage route and then to lower steel to get the most out of the masteries again. Or sorry, I never showed you her equipment and stats. Perception and Defiance with speed in there. And we have her 261. My Matrala build is not great. Don't copy it. Really, it's not good. So 4,000 defense, 68,000 HP. It's a build from a good while ago. She should have more accuracy and resistance. She's a resistance tank is what she's known for. And she's in Brimstone as well. So you see we got a lot of damage off her for that. That's the build there. Odin is built with as much crit damage as I can with decent speed and accuracy. And he's crit capped. And then everything else goes into survivability because his damage doesn't scale off any of his own stats. They scale off the enemy stats. So you just want them crit rate and as much crit damage as possible and then survivable. If you want accuracy on them, you need to build the accuracy, obviously. If you want them faster or slower, you need to build that to type. I find this is grand. I could probably do with getting better survivability stats. But I wanted them in 4-piece pinpoint, which, do I have it? Oh, I do, yeah, that's pinpoint there as well. So he's in 4-piece pinpoint, so as he gets that intercept thing. And intercept isn't a bad thing for the start of the Amius fight at all, so that's good. Then we have Fatalis is just built to do damage and to survive, so he has 115 now HP, 3,311 defense, 269 crit damage, full crit rate, and 210 speed. He doesn't need anything else, although he could be built with resistance. Wouldn't make any difference in the Amius fight, really. Venom Age, Blessing, Max Blessing, Super Smashing, great, good speed. Decent survivability at 63,000. Defense is a little bit low, under 3,000. 253 speed is good. 490 accuracy is very good and is enough for Amius, so that's what we want. We have her for the heal reduction. I can never remember the name. She has emergency heal on, so you'll notice she also has a shield ring. That's for extra healing for her. For some other stuff, not so much for him, but it does help. And she's down into the lore of steel and the accuracy stuff here again, with a bit of the defense tree as well and the resistance there. And so that is the 5 builds, guys, for the second time going through Amius this turn. You have 1 day left. That's it, guys. Go to it. I'll upload this and see if I can let somebody from Plarium know that there seems to be a glitch with Amius there. Guys, thanks for watching and I'll chat to you soon. Take care. Best of luck. Bye bye.